morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are seeing this lecture from. Today we'll be talking about a special part of Java programming language that is known as classes, objects, methods, and instance variable. All these concepts are what makes Java object-oriented. So let me begin with a simple example. For instance, let's talk about how car is made. Before a car can be modeled, there must have been an engineering drawing. Of course, we all understood that we cannot drive the drawing, but from the drawing, a car can be built. So within the drawing, there will be concepts that manages how the car go faster, which is what is known as an accelerator. There's also a concept that will makes the car go slow, like to stop the car from running fast. Just like you cannot drive car's engineering drawing, before you can drive it, it must be built from the engineering drawing that described it. So a car or a complete car actually have an accelerator pedal to make the car go faster. Even that's not enough. The car won't accelerate on its own. Somebody must press that accelerator anyways. So the accelerator is an interface that the driver must press to send message to the engine that you have to work faster than the usual or than the current speed. So with that, the accelerator pedal hide the mechanisms, the method by which the engine understand what is to be done. For instance, your own is just to press the pedal, the accelerator pedal. How the car is running faster, you cannot say. How the car is running faster, you cannot say. So the pedal, the accelerator pedal in this context is known as method calls. In Java, you can perform an operation with the use of or with the call of method. You call a method to perform the operation, just like you press the pedal to tell the engine to accelerate faster, or you press the brake pedal to tell the engine to slow down, right? To slow down the speed. So with this car example, let us use that to explain how classes and objects and methods and instance variables. When you drive a car, pressing its gas pedal, you send a message to the car to perform a task, that is, make the car go faster. Similarly, you send messages to an object. Each message is implemented as a method call, meaning a class is just like the engineering drawing. Okay, let me give you another example that may seems clearer. Before you can build a house, there must be an engineering drawing as well, that is known as blueprint or template or house plan, right? You cannot live inside the plan is not livable, but then you can use the plan to build a house. The same vein, in Java, a class is not runnable, but you can build an object from that class so that it can be executed. So when you build a class, then you build an object of the class. So in the class, we have methods. That is, we can refer to the methods just like a car example, that the car will have accelerator. So accelerator in this case, in our Java class instance, is a method. A method will tell the class or the object what to do, while an accelerator pedal will tell the car what to do, right? Accelerator tells the car to run. A method in Java, for instance, a greeting method, will send that message to the object that this object you have to greet. So that is sending a greeting message. By the time we write an example, you'll be getting it. At the same time, suppose you have an account in a bank. In your own bank account, you have methods like send money and receive alert, deduct, debit, credit. All of these are the methods, right, that performs an action, and your account is an object, like is an object of the account. So account is just like a class that anytime an account is to be opened, they will use that account template to create your account. So from a drawing, we can have several houses, we can have several cars. Just like we know we cannot drive a car's drawing, we cannot also live in a house drawing. But the car drawing, we hide every operation the car will do. In the car drawing, we have the method that accelerates, we have the method that slow down, we have the method that shows how much gas we have in our car, or how much fuel that we have in our car, how much brake oil, and all of that. So the same way we have a class that hides methods in a Java object. So these methods are used to perform operation as defined by the template or by the class. So like I said earlier, a class is not runnable, but it's not usable, we must declare the object of the class. At the same time, a car will know how much gas is in its own engine. A car will know how much fuel or how much oil is in its own engine. It will not know how much fuel is in another engine. Just like an account will know how much is left in the bank account, while it cannot know how much is left in another bank's account. So the value, this how much is left in the fuel gas or how much is left in the account balance, is represented by what is known as instance variable, or we can call it field variable. So these variables are used to track the amount of instance, the amount of fuel, the amount of oil, and all of that. So without further ado, let me give a class as an example so we can have a better understanding of what it is and how it is. So I'll create a class, I'll call it gradebook.java. All right. So that being done, then I'll do public uh, public class. Don't forget that a public class must be named the same name as the file name. I have gradebook, so definitely the name of my class should also be gradebook, right? Then I'll open the curly brace. So saving that, you see we have no error. Then next thing that I want to do is a method that display message to the user. So I will say this method display message to the user, right? Then and I'll call it public void display message, right? Then I'll do system.out.println welcome to gradebook. Welcome to gradebook. So we have created a class that has a method. It has just one method. This method is display message, right? Just like we have a car that only has, or let's say, let me use a vehicle that only has brake. The only thing it has is brake, meaning anytime you hold the brake, it performs the function of a brake. And in this case, we have a class that only has greeting method. So the only thing this class will have as its property is just to display message. Now, I told you that a class is not runnable until an object is created from that class. Let me try to run this guy. Run, start debugging. You will see the error that will pop up. You see, it's saying cannot find a class with a main method. So that is, this class is not runnable because it's just a Java class. It's a template that can be used to build another uh, that an object can be built from. Now let us create another class where we will use where we will create object of gradebook, and then we use the object to call this method display message. So coming to this guy, then I will do grade book test dot java, right? So do not forget that the name should be public class gradebook, right? So then I will do public static void main string hag. Now the next thing I want to do is create a gradebook object and assign it to a variable, right? So let's say create a gradebook object and assign it to a gradebook and assign it to my gradebook variable, to my gradebook object. So what do I mean? I already told you that we have to create an object of gradebook before it can be used. Then all I will do is do gradebook. I'll do gradebook, right? Then I'll call my gradebook, right? My gradebook is equals to new gradebook. Look at that. Immediately this is done, immediately this is done, you will see that we have my gradebook and we have new gradebook. So we don't need to rewrite. The beauty of it is that once you create an object from a class, you don't need to rewrite this guy. You don't need to rewrite it. So all you have to do is say my grade dot display message. Now, this my gradebook dot display message is just like you're driving a car and you press pedal, the accelerator pedal, right? When you press accelerator pedal, you don't know how the engine is running. The only thing you know is that once you press the pedal, the car will run faster. Just like this one too, you don't know how this method performed the greetings. The only thing is that you call the method and the method will perform its task without any intervention. Your own is call the method and then it will display message. So let us run this file to see what happened. So what I'm going to do is I will do run Java. It's running. Now look at what happened. What we see here is welcome to my gradebook. However, if you look at it very well, we cannot run this one. No. But this is a test. This is just like we have built an object from the gradebook, just like you have built a car from the drawing. So looking at this, we say my gradebook here now, say gradebook, that is we are referring to this template. We now say my gradebook is the name of the object that we are building from gradebook. Then we now say is equals to new gradebook, just like an engineer can instruct a junior engineer that okay, take this drawing, go and build this car. So they will follow the drawing to build the car. That's what we have done here. We have built an object from what? From gradebook. After we build the object, that is when we can now say my gradebook dot display message. How the message is being displayed, we don't know. The only thing we know is that my gradebook as an object has a method called display message, and its own function is to display welcome to gradebook. That's all. That is how it works. So that might not be clear enough, right? Let us modify our gradebook to have um to have let me say um to have something like argument. So I can go to my gradebook and I say string course name, course name, right? Course name, course name. Okay, so we do string course name, right? And coming to this guy, you can now say welcome to the gradebook for percent s comma course name. A direct example, a direct example that we can derive from this is talking about gear. You know, when you are using the gear, you can take your gear to drive, can take it to 4, to 2, to 3, to 1. So you are telling the engine how much faster the gears should be. That is the message you are passing as you are using your gear. You are passing to the gear that this gear, the current value should be set to 2, it should be set to 3, it should be set to 4, or thereabout. Or perhaps every house will have their colors. So when you are building the house, you can pass to the painter that okay, I want this house to be colored blue, just like this display message too. So by the time I go to the test, you can see that display message requires an argument. That is, what's the course name? I will say course name is Java programming language, right? So if I rerun the program, if I rerun this program, now you see that we now have welcome to gradebook for Java programming language. So if I change this guy from Java to C++, right, we are passing C++ to display message, then display message will know how to perform that operation. So that is why we say that we can use a class to hide, that is to encapsulate, to hide the function of the class, right? This is what we use the class to do. It hides the function of the class, while display message hides how the message is being displayed. and then by the time you do a method call, then display message will display welcome to gradebook for C++. I still have many other examples, but I don't want to rush us. I want us to view this lecture. If you have any contribution, any question, kindly drop in the comment section. And please don't forget to share for others to benefit from, and subscribe, and turn on the notification icon so that when we drop the next uh, lecture, you'll be able to get notification on time. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to comment. Don't forget to ask questions if something is not clear to you so that I can answer those questions while we meet in the next lecture. Thanks for viewing.